All right, just a couple more things to talk about in these pages. If you look at page 57 of your textbook, Father Henry talks to you about the preposition in. Now, it's not the first time that we see the preposition in. If you look back at page 24 and 25, we talk about the use of prepositions. And here you see that on page 25, you find that preposition in, preposition with ablative, that means on or in. All right? So that's not new. And it means on or in, and it's followed by the ablative. However, fast forward to page 57. On page 57, you find out that in can also be followed by the accusative. So now what you need to know is that in is called a mixed preposition. That means that the object of the preposition in can be either in the accusative or in the ablative. So the difference is this. Whenever the object of the preposition in is in the ablative, it means that there is no motion. So that means that you're in a certain place, inside it, or on it, on top of it. There's no motion, you're there. Now, if you have in plus accusative, if you look on page 58, it gives you a good number of choices for the way to translate in preposition with accusative. It's in, into, against, upon, or on. All right? And so now what you have to understand is that there is an idea of motion. Okay? If you're going into the forest, you are going into it. There's a motion from the outside of the forest inside it. And that way, we know that the translation of in is into, because Silvam at the bottom of page 57 is in the accusative. So the bottom line is in plus accusative is into. In plus ablative is in, inside, no motion. Okay, that's basically it for this. The other thing that I need you to just keep an eye out for, if you fast forward and you go to page 64, lesson 6, page 64, what Father Henry is just drawing your attention to right here is the fact that some Latin words are sometimes only in the plural. They're always plural, never singular. For example, they give you two words right here. Top of page 64, castrorum. That means the camp. Now, again, we follow the same pattern. That first form, castra, we call that the first principal part, is the nominative. And castrorum is the genitive. But these two forms are plural. Okay, so castra, that's the form of a nominative plural. Which nominative plurals ends in A? The neuter ones, that's correct. The neuter ones ends in A. So you can tell that castra is neuter. Now look at the genitive. If the genitive is in O-R-U-M, what declension is that from? That's right, second declension. Second declension genitive plural is orum. So castra, castrorum is a noun of the second declension, but the funny thing about it is that it is always plural in Latin, and in English it's singular or plural. So it's hard to tell if it's going to be singular or plural when you translate it. The other word that works exactly like this is impedimenta, impedimentorum. That's the baggage or the baggage train that was going along with the army, where the soldiers would have their equipment that they were not carrying themselves. That's the stuff that was carried on carts, carriages, mules, or even oxen sometimes. Okay? Now, the other thing on this page 64 is that some words change meanings if they are singular or plural. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Now look at the word gratia. Gratia in the singular means favor or influence, or in Christian Latin, grace. Now you put gratia in the plural, gratiae, gratiarum, doesn't mean favor anymore, it means thanks. Yeah, just like that. Don't ask me why, that's just the way it is, I'm just passing on a message. Same thing with copia. Copia, copier, singular, means the supply, the abundance. Around Thanksgiving we have the symbol of abundance called the cornucopia. Cornu in Latin is the horn. Cornucopia, the horn of plenty. If, for example, right now you are taking copious notes, that means that you're taking an abundance of notes, and I hope you are. And then you put copia in the plural, copier, copiarum, feminine plural. Ha! Check this out. Now this means troops or forces. Now what's the connection with copia, the supply, the abundance? I don't know, it's a stretch to make a connection. Alright, so just that's about it for this page 64. So know that. And know also that when a noun, a subject, is in the plural, the verb will have to be in the plural too. But that's pretty much common sense. So that's it. One more little presentation on the next link right there is the one where I'm going to go over the vocabulary and kind of point out some interesting derivatives or curiosities that comes from these words. So see you on the next little program.